Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Pathfinder with Yadnika. So in the previous videos, we have already talked about a few topics asked in consulting interviews. We have covered the guesstimates, profitability framework, market entry strategy, and pricing strategy. In this video, we'll talk about the growth strategy cases. By the end of this video, you'll get a good hold on how to solve these type of cases structurally and logically. So let's get into it. So, step one is to understand the problem statement. Step two is to ask clarifying questions relevant to the case. I've talked about these two steps in detail in my previous videos. Step three is where you'll apply the growth framework. Now, let's see what the growth framework is all about. So, whenever you get a growth case, start with the growth target. Are we trying to grow revenue, profit, market share, customer base, or is it something else? Once the goal is clear, we use this two path structure. Path 1 is growth in the existing market. Part 2 is growth by entering a new market. This gives you MECE clarity from the start. Let's begin with the first part, growing within the existing market. Here, there are only two fundamental levers. First is increasing the volume, and second is increasing the price. Let's break these down. Increasing volume. This simply means increasing how much the customer buys, and the volume itself has three sublevers. First is increased transaction size per customer. Can we make every purchase bigger? For example, bundling, cross selling, upselling, encouraging larger pack sizes, etc. Second is increasing frequency of purchase. Can customers buy more often? For example, cashbacks, loyalty programs, wallets and reward points, bank offers, bulk discounts, etc. This works especially well in retail, e commerce, and FMCG. Third is increase the number of customers. Here we focus on expanding the customer base, that is, getting new segments, better targeting, and stronger marketing. Next is increase the price. Sometimes revenue growth comes from pricing actions, but price is tricky. You must analyze it. Please keep these three things in mind. Price elasticity. Will customers switch if we increase the price? Second is brand image. Can we charge premium for this particular product? Third is approach. Is it cost based, competitor based, or value based pricing? This is where you discuss positioning, brand strength, and competitive dynamics. Now let's understand the second big path, that is new markets. If the existing market is saturated or competitive, companies expand into new spaces using these levers. Entering the new market can have four pathways. First is geographical expansion. This means taking your current product to a new geography. It might be a domestic expansion or an international expansion. This is especially relevant for D2C brands and FMCGs. Second is diversification, which is horizontal. Here, the company enters a new product category but still at the same stage of the value chain. For example, a smartphone brand launching headphones. Third is business integration. This is vertical in nature. Vertical integration means moving up or down the value chain. Backward integration means controlling suppliers. Forward integration means opening own stores or delivery systems. This is often done to gain more control over the supply chain. Fourth is inorganic growth. This is growth through partnerships or acquisitions. When the company doesn't build everything itself. Under inorganic growth, we have joint ventures where two companies come together to share resources, technology, or capabilities. Mergers and acquisitions, where we buy or merge with another company to enter markets faster. Interviewers love this lever because it covers problems like synergy, integration challenges, and strategic fit. Now that we have understood the growth framework properly, let's solve an example to get more clarity. So, the problem statement is our client is an automobile parts manufacturer. They want to double their revenues in the next 5 years. We need to analyze how they can achieve this growth and what options they should consider. Whenever you receive a growth case, always start by clarifying the context. So, here's what we learned during the initial questioning. The client operates across India. There are five major players, each with 20% market share, so it's a fragmented and competitive market. 90% of customers are automobile OEMs like Maruti, Tata, Hyundai, etc. Parts are sold through tenders, and if client wins, they receive the contract for the entire life cycle of that car model. This tells us two things. It is a B2B business, and revenue is contract driven, not volume driven at retail level. Once the context is clear, we apply our growth framework. Just like before, growth can come from two paths: growth in existing markets and growth by entering new markets. Let's walk through both. Let's look into the growth in existing markets. Because revenue here comes through tenders, growing in the existing market means increasing the number of contracts or increasing revenue per contract. Let's break these down. Increasing the number of contracts. Here revenue equals to number of contracts into revenue per contract. Since revenue per contract is fixed and competitive due to tendering, the most realistic lever is increasing the number of contracts we win. The number of contracts depends on four things. Total contracts in the market. We cannot control this. It depends on how many new cars each OEM plans to launch. Second is percentage of contracts we are qualified for. This we can control. By improving our R&D, product quality and capabilities, we can qualify for more categories of tenders. Third is percentage of contracts we apply to. Maybe the client isn't applying to all possible tenders today. We can expand our bidding efforts. The fourth lever is win rate. This is influenced by pricing, relationships, reliability, past performance, and product differentiation. Strong OEM relationships and better understanding of the decision making processes can directly improve our win rate. Now let's explore the second part, that is new markets. First is geographical expansion. Currently, the client sells only in India, but Indian OEMs operate globally. So they can use their existing relationships to enter Southeast Asia, Middle East, or African markets. This is low risk because the product is proven and the relationships already exist. Second is diversification of products. This means expanding into new product categories. For example, they currently manufacture plastic parts for the interior of cars. They could also diversify into two-wheeler components, commercial vehicle parts, EV specific components, safety systems, electronics, or lightning assemblies. This opens up entirely new markets. Third is business integration. Integration can be either backward integration or forward integration. In backward integration, they could either acquire or develop plastic manufacturing or raw material suppliers, which will reduce raw material cost and hence improve their margins. Forward integration is not relevant here because they cannot legally start manufacturing cars. So, backward integration is more logical. So let's bring it all together. What does our analysis tell us? The biggest driver for growth will come from winning more contracts in the existing market. We can achieve this by increasing the number of qualified tenders, applying to more tenders and improving win rate through pricing, reliability, R&D and relationships. Now combine this with new market opportunities, that is geographic expansion using existing OEM relationships, diversifying into two-wheelers, EVs or other automotive segments, backward integration to improve margins and be more competitive in tenders. This combination gives the client a realistic path to doubling revenues in 5 years. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. In the next video, I'll be talking about the unconventional cases, so stay tuned for that. Also, please hit the like button and share this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe to my channel to stay updated. I'll see you in the next one.